كل فعل يراد به التقرب إلى الله عز وجل وهو خلاف السنة فهو بدعة ضلالة.
But Ahlul Bid'ah, they will take a kalima of Shaykh Al-Albani. You know what Shaykh Al-Albani said about Shaykh Rabi? He said, however, I have advised Shaykh Rabi. Right? Now, what did Shaykh Al-Albani just say? That he is an imam, the hamilur raya, meaning the flag bearer of the science of Jarh wa Ta'deel. That he refutes them, and those that refute him, they do not do so on knowledge. Rather than knowledge is with Shaykh Rabi. Whomsoever speaks against Shaykh Rabi and Shaykh Muqbil, may Allah guide them, or what? Break his back. Alright? You don't ever hear those Mubtadi'ah and Ahlul Bidah quoting that from Shaykh Al-Albani. Shaykh Al-Albani, he said, in one of his sayings, after praising Shaykh Rabi and mentioning his good and mentioning his khair, Shaykh Al-Albani said, however, I have advised him on more than one occasion. Advised who? Al-Albani, the teacher advising his student. Like a father advising his son. An imam advising another imam. But one is greater. Al-Albani is greater. But advising another imam. Shaykh Rabi'. And this is normal. This is normal, ya ikhwan. Advice between the ulama is normal. Bin Baz used to advise Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen. So now Al-Albani said, I have advised him. And he mentioned that one occasion, that I advised him on more than one occasion, that if only he was gentler. He was a bit gentle. In his manner, and it would benefit more people if he was slightly more gentle, if he was gentler. Whether it be with those who are with him or those who are against him. That if he was gentler, that would be better. But as from the aspect of knowledge, there is no avenue whatsoever to criticize the man. Look, even then he finishes off by saying, from the avenue of knowledge, from the aspect of knowledge, there is no avenue to criticize the rajul. He mentions the rajul. Why? Because Shaykh Rabi is a rajul, ya akhwan. He's a man. We're not talking about a boy changes his mind from one day to another. A rajul. He said from the aspect of avenue of knowledge, there is no avenue that they have towards him. So what did they do? I remember. Now a group of people of Hawa and Hizbiyah, they spread it across the dunya. They left everything. Wallahi, I remember in the 90s, mid-90s, they left everything. They said Shaykh Al-Albani has criticized Shaykh Rabi'. He said that he's too hard. Why? Because Shaykh Al-Albani said that I said to him that you should not be so mutashaddid. You should not be so harsh. So they spread it everywhere. Even now in their lectures, like Ali Al-Halabi, this Mubtadi', when he gave a lecture once, he said, MashaAllah, Shaykh Rabi is okay. But like our Shaykh said, he's too harsh. He's mutashaddid. Or sometime, and on an occasion, didn't even mention Shaykh Rabi's name. He said, those people who speak, and they refute this one and they refute that one, our Shaykh used to say that he is mutashaddid. What? Have you got selective memory? Is that all that Shaykh Al-Albani said? But anyway, no problem. The fact is Al-Albani said it. Rahimahullah. This great Imam, this Muhaddith, he said it. So Shaykh Rabi', this was Shaykh Rabi's response. And I'll read it to you. Shaykh Rabi said, oh brothers, no, i'lam, have knowledge. Having shiddah, having harshness towards Ahlul Batil is mahmuda. Is praiseworthy. Being harsh towards Ahlul Bidah is praiseworthy in the view of the Salaf of this Ummah. Read what they have written. Read Aqidatul Salaf, Ashabul Hadith of As-Sabuni. You think Shaykh Rabi is harsh? You want to read what Sabuni has written, ya ikhwan? Go and read Sharh Sunnah of Al-Barbahari and then tell me harsh. Go and read Al-Ibana, Kubra and Sughra of Ibn Battah and then tell me Shaykh Rabi is harsh. So Shaykh Rabi said, my brothers, in the view of the Salaf of this Ummah, being harsh towards Ahlul Bid'ah is praiseworthy. Though, wallah, you know some of the Salaf, if a person of Bid'ah died, and they used to make rows for janazah behind them, they used to come from far into the janazah and break the rows. Physically come and say, what are you praying over him for? Move from here. Ai used to do this from the early Salaf. One of them, and I've mentioned to you this before, one of them went to the janazah. No one from Ahlul Sunnah, no Imam, no scholar from Ahlul Sunnah prayed behind this innovator Bishr al-Marisi, except one man from Ahlul Sunnah. When he came back, they grabbed him and they started telling him off and being harsh towards him. For what? For praying a janazah of this person? He said, before you attack me, let me tell you. Let me tell you what I did. Yes, I stood. Whilst they were making dua for him in the janazah, I was making dua against him. Oh Allah, this servant of yours used to deny the punishment of the grave. Punish him in his grave with a punishment that you have never given to anybody else. Look how the Salaf were. Oh Allah, this servant of yours used to deny the mizan, the weighing of the deeds, Yawm al-Qiyamah. Oh Allah, make his scale of good deeds light and make his scale of wicked and evil deeds heavy. Oh Allah, he used to deny the ru'ya, that you will be seen Yawm al-Qiyamah. Oh Allah, do not let him see you. This is what the Salaf used to do at the janazah of the Mubtadi'ah. They never used to attend, but this one he attended because he wanted Allah to hear the dua. He wanted to make dua against this Mubtadi'. So Shaykh Rabi mentions being harsh towards the people of bid'ah with the Salaf was praiseworthy. And those who had this severity towards them are considered to be praiseworthy. They are considered to be people who are to be extolled and praised, such as Hammad ibn Salama, Abu Ishaq al-Fazari, and others. As for in these times, Shaykh Rabi said, the affairs, they have changed. The affairs have changed. Ahlul Bid'ah and the Hizbiyun, from them Al-Ikhwan al-Muslimun, Al-Qutubiyun, the followers of Sayyid Qutb, alongside the fact that they, Ahlul Bid'ah, are the most mutashaddidun in their judgments upon the Ummah. That first of all, having shiddah and having harshness towards Ahlul Bid'ah, it is something praiseworthy. But in reality, it is them who are harsh and stern, not us. They are the ones who pass judgments upon the Ummah, its individuals and the Jama'at. They declare the rulers to be kuffar. Is that not mutashaddid? Is that not harsh? And they declare enmity towards the Salafis. So they, Ahlul Bid'ah, they are the ones who are mutashaddidun against the Salafis. More and more, they ascribe lies and falsehood to those who follow the truth, Ahlul Sunnah. And some of Ahlul Sunnah, Shaykh Rabi mentions, have been affected by the ideas and the means of these deviants. Some of Ahlul Sunnah, they have been affected. So they begin to describe Shaykh Rabi with harshness in his mannerism. So they also, where they see me being harsh towards Ahlul Bid'ah, and this is something that Salaf used to do. So because the prevalence of today, that we are not harsh, rather harshness is left towards them, so they declare the rulers to be kuffar and so on. So they begin to describe Shaykh Rabi with harshness in his manners, in his mannerism, in his usloob. So the people of desires took advantage of the saying. This is Shaykh Rabi talking. So the people of Hawa, they took advantage of the saying of the Muhaddith al-Kabir, the great scholar of Hadith, the well-known famous Salafi, our Shaykh Al-Albani rahimahullah, whom we venerate and we honor and we consider him to be from the great mujaddideen of al-Islam, the great revivers of Islam in our times. So Ahlul Ahwa took advantage of that saying, that the manners of Shaykh Rabi, in the manners of Shaykh Rabi, there is harshness. So Shaykh Rabi is saying that when Shaykh Al-Albani said that, these people of desires, they took advantage of that. They took advantage of that. And what did they do? He mentions, Shaykh Rabi, that Shaykh Al-Albani, he said this after praising Rabi'. He praised the manhaj of Rabi'. He described Rabi' as being the carrier of the flag of Jah wa Ta'deel, and that he is upon the Salafi manhaj, and they are not to be found with him any mistakes. But Ahlul Ahwa act as if they are ignorant of this truthful statement. And they focus upon the description of harshness that was made towards me, to sow into the minds of the people, and especially in the minds of the Salafis, that Shaykh Rabi is mutashaddid. And they attained that which they wanted. He said, from the statement of Al-Albani, they got what they wanted. Shaykh Rabi said, unfortunately. So he said, this plot of Ahlul Ahwa, this plot of the people of desires, reached me. So I picked up the phone and I phoned Shaykh Al-Albani. I phoned him. So this is the way of the scholars. Shaykh Al-Albani gave a piece of advice. So now Shaykh Rabi picked up the phone and wanted to speak to Al-Albani about this affair. So he said, I phoned Shaykh Al-Albani rahimahullah, and I criticized these words that have been made against me. And I advised him, and I reproached him gently concerning these words of his. And he accepted that from me, with words that are well known and widespread. Shaykh Al-Albani accepted it from me. And he said, Shaykh Al-Albani, he sought pardon. He sought pardon from me. And he said that these words that I uttered, they were only words from a certain point of view, Shaykh Al-Albani said. And then he criticized, Shaykh Al-Albani himself criticized those initial words, and with more emphasis when I wrote to him. Because then Shaykh Rabi wrote to him. And especially regarding the book, when I wrote the book, Al-Awasim, Mimma fi Kutub Sayyid Qutb min al-Qawasim. This is a refutation of Sayyid Qutb that Shaykh Al-Albani wrote. And he said, and then in the end, Shaykh Al-Albani regretted. Shaykh Al-Albani regretted what he used to hold regarding the scholars of Medina. And Shaykh Al-Albani, that he retracted from that. That he used to say that they have something of harshness, the scholars of Medina. When it became clear to Shaykh Al-Albani the deviations of particular individuals that were hidden from him, and at the head of them, Safar al-Hawali and Salman al-Awda, these two people of bid'ah, that Shaykh Al-Albani eventually he criticized them and declared them to be the Khawarij of the era. So Dina were mutashaddidun, that they were harsh. And when it was made clear to us what they are upon, that which they are upon of truth, then we change, or that we, as he mentioned, Shaykh Al-Albani said, and as for us, and then it became clear to us what they were upon by way of the truth. And as for us, we did not know about the reality of these people. Who? The Hizbis. Those Khawarij. And then Shaykh Rabi concludes by saying, and I say our argument is that they are the ones who are harsh in their falsehood and in their judgments of kufr upon societies and upon the rulers, and especially more so upon the rulers who are upon the Kitab and the Sunnah. They are harsh upon the scholars of the Salafi manhaj. Who? Those people of bid'ah. The likes of Abdul Rahman Abdul Khaliq, the likes of Safar al-Hawali, Salman al-Awda, and you have their equivalents in the West. Abu Usama, Abu Muslima, Sayyid Raghi. These types of individuals who are upon that same methodology of the likes of whom Shaykh Rabi has criticized and Shaykh Al-Albani criticized. So Shaykh Rabi mentions, they are the ones who are harsh upon the scholars of the Salafi manhaj, accusing them of being spies and government stooges. And they even accuse the scholars of being stooges of the Jews and the Americans and other such oppressive insults and judgments. Aren't they the ones who are mutashaddid? Look what they're saying about the Salafi scholars. Why do you remain silent about that? About Usama? Why do you remain silent about that? The likes of Safar and Salman and all of these people of bid'ah. Then Shaykh Rabi mentions, as for us, by the way, the words of Shaykh Rabi finished when he said, and even the stooges, that they accuse the scholars of being stooges of the Jews and the Americans and other such insults and oppressive insults and judgments. Then Shaykh Rabi mentions, as for us, we work with the haqq. There is not to be found with us that which they accuse us of from shiddah. So we, for example, refute the insults of Sayyid Qutb that he made upon the Sahaba, when he accused some of them of hypocrisy, of nifaq, and kadhib, and khiyana. Sayyid Qutb accused many of the Sahaba. He accused, for example, Amr ibn al-As, and Uthman bin Affan, and other than them. And some of the other Sahaba, he accused them of hypocrisy, and lying, and treachery. So we argued these affairs with Sayyid Qutb. But we did not say to him, you are a munafiq. We did not say to Sayyid Qutb that you are a kadhab, or that you are kha'in, treacherous. And likewise, what of the attacks of Sayyid Qutb upon the Prophet Musa alayhi salam? So we did not insult him, meaning Sayyid Qutb, with the words that he insulted this noble Prophet with. And likewise, when he declared all of the Islamic societies of being kuffar, but we did not say to him, you are a kafir. So where is our shiddah that you claim that we have? Rather, our shiddah, our harshness is in accordance to the sunnah. Our harshness is in accordance to the sunnah, in accordance to Abu Bakr and Umar and the early salaf of this ummah. So Shaykh Rabi wrote these words, and I finished at the point when he said, but we did not say to Sayyid Qutb that you are a kafir, even though he himself declared the Muslims to be kuffar. He declared the rulers to be kuffar. He declared the Sahaba radiallahu anhum to be liars and hypocrites. This is Sayyid Qutb. But we did not say to Sayyid Qutb that you are this and you are that. We said, well, you are wrong and you have innovated, you have made inhiraf. So where is the shiddah in that, in clarification of the truth? This is Shaykh Rabi'. Now you understand why they hate him. Because the man will not be quiet. When he sees deviation, he will not stay quiet, ya ikhwan. Like Ahmed bin Hanbal, Ibn Taymiyyah, Muhammad bin Abdul-Wahhab before him. Same as their way.